Hello, hello. Welcome to another great episode of All in Person by Xtag. In this podcast, as you already know, we try to bring to the stage people with so much experience that can add a lot of value to anyone that is watching. And today we have someone with over 20 years experience that helped to launch Zoom events. And he's across the board, making sure that he's helping with product, tech, sales, anything to make sure the clients are happy. Um, and yeah, in Zoom events, you can do virtual events. Everyone knows Zoom webinar and virtual events, but also hybrid and in person events. And Brian Creamer is the one to make sure that everyone is doing that in the right way. So I couldn't be more excited to have Brian here with me today. How are you, Brian?
Oh, Elad, I'm doing really well. Thank you so much for inviting me. Really excited to be here today.
Yeah, yeah. You and I, we know each other for over 2 years.
Ah,
And for me, as a partner of Zoom events, it was always amazing to have someone like you that is always there, always interested, always making sure everything works smoothly between the two companies, especially when, it's a large corporation like Zoom. And having someone like you is a really asset for any partner and for Zoom events. So thank you for everything you're doing.
my pleasure. And thank you so much for the partnership. You guys have added so much value to our customers. And we're looking forward to just continuing to work with one another really closely. It's been super seamless and super easy to work with your team.
Amazing. I love to hear that. And today, actually, we are here for me to try to get some insights from you in general about the industry, about Zoom events, nothing connected specifically to the partnership. It was just, a good way to make sure that you're coming to my podcast. So thank you for that. And let's just dive into it. I have some questions for you for today, and I'm sure you can answer some of them at least. Let's see.
Sure.
So diving right into it, when you're pitching Zoom events for an in-person event, right? Not virtual, not webinar, but
Mhm.
in-person event, what do you think wins the deal for Zoom events today?
Um, I would honestly say, like, really the flexibility of what we can offer, and that goes into our partnership with you guys, right? So, if you're talking about either a hybrid event or an in-person event, not every event is the same, right? Every client's needs are going to be different. So, having this seamless integration in with Xtag and just the flexibility that you guys offer and the way that it's tied really neatly in with our Zoom events platform is perfect. So, with your solution offerings, right, you have everything from the full blown white glove service to you can send out the easy box, I think you call it, right?
Nice.
The box of goodies that is pre-configured for the attendees, or you can just deliver the software. So there's the flexibility in terms of the service offering, and then there's also the flexibility in terms of the different things that you can offer, right? Everything from the badge from the event check-in, and that can be done with the kiosk or a tablet, right? To the badge printing, and you have different levels of badge depending on the what the client needs, and then lead scanning, in session scanning, etc. I think that flexibility helps us support the different use cases for our clients.
That's great to hear, to know how valuable Xtag is to Zoom events. And yeah, I think as what I see, it's funny, but people don't necessarily know how powerful Zoom Events is as a platform because it started as webinars and all that. But
Yep.
for even for in-person events, I think it's a great solution, great pricing, really easy, and I think that also, as I see that, what really wins the deal that you can use Zoom for so many other things. Like people use Zoom for meetings, and then just to upgrade to Zoom events can be pretty affordable. People not
Yeah.
even know. And also, all the security and all that, it's already there. All the procurement processes are already there. So it's just an easy add-on to anyone that's using Zoom. And with, the marketplace that you have and all the partners and all that, I think Zoom Event is a great solution, and I can't wait to see how it strives in the industry. So thank you for that. And
My
let's
pleasure.
continue to another one. And I post a lot recently about AI. I think that AI is, of course, everyone understands how it's crazy in the whole world, and ChatGPT 5 just launched yesterday and all that, so it's
Yeah,
a good timing. But especially in the event space, I think it's going to be a disruption. And Zoom is embracing AI as a company like crazy, right? It's a leader
yeah.
in general, not in events only. And I'm really, really curious how Zoom events, specifically Zoom events, using AI in the platform, or any cases, anything that you think will surprise people about the implementation of AI within Zoom events?
Man, that's a great question. What I'll start with is AI is literally woven into every aspect of the Zoom platform. So to your point, it's not just Zoom events, but it's everything you can do within Zoom. And it's incredibly powerful. Like what we're seeing in Zoom events specifically is AI, and a lot of people aren't even utilizing this yet, but they're kind of just dipping their toes into the water with AI. But think of AI being able to be used for all of your event planning. So you can schedule a meeting with your team, enable AI, and that will collect all the notes from your meeting. You can then use that to, assign tasks, create agendas, schedule follow-up meetings, create dedicated chat groups, right? This is all pre-event, just the planning aspects. In terms of the event setup, you can then use AI to create all of your copy, right? So your event promotional materials, your emails, your social media posts, but then also generate AI images, right? To for your digital assets for your event. You can even use AI within Zoom events to like import your agenda, and we will then build out the event for you. So lots of ways to kind of streamline the event setup. Post event, there's some really neat things that you can do with AI as well. So you can use, after the event takes place, you can use AI to generate derivative assets. So let's create a follow up email and a social media post and a blog post. If you want to create snackable video content, you can create video snippets, all done with AI. So super powerful tools. And I think there's a lot more coming, right? This is all relatively new, so Zoom will continue to enhance our AI capabilities in not just Zoom, but in the events platform specifically. And I think we're just starting to see our large enterprise customers kind of embrace this and adapt it. It's really exciting.
It's really exciting, and I didn't even know that it's already there with the agenda and what you just mentioned. It's crazy. And what's crazy with AI, that everything that you thought that it's going to take some time, it doesn't take time. Like it happens immediately. The development is so quick and the implementation is so quick. And because of the crazy competition, right, that you have from companies like OpenAI and Microsoft and Amazon and Google and all that, it makes everyone like it's a sprint. It feels like it's a sprint. Everyone is releasing features so quickly, and for us, the client, the users, and the event planners in this case, it's phenomenal. It's basically more on us to use this, like the
Yes.
capability, rather than the platforms to provide that. Like it's already there, we just don't really know yet how to use it, so it's kind of to learn, to educate ourselves, to make sure that we leverage the crazy features that are already there, and of course what's coming, right?
Oh, it,
So
I'm so
I'm
excited
super
for this.
excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
agree
yeah,
100%.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, AI is a big deal. All right, amazing. Thank you for sharing that. It's crazy, and I think that I had a post about 2 months ago that the event industry has to wake up, and I mentioned that the companies like Zoom are there as it's you are there as a company, as a whole platform. Um, but hearing that from you, that it's more than that, it's there. It's like really there in the platform already, is really exciting.
Yeah, it's in the platform already. I think the users just need to get a little bit creative, and to your point, they need to use it, right? But it can save you so much time. And it's not necessarily when you use AI that's the finished polished product, but if you want it to, generate the event copy, right? Then you can then go ahead and and tailor that and edit it to your liking, right? But it
Mhm.
just saves you so much time getting started. It's amazing. Like I'm still meeting with customers, every week. They'll share their plan for the event, and it's a big spreadsheet with different tabs and different documents, right? All of this can be done with AI now, so it's
Yeah.
it's it's amazing.
Amazing. And you know, another thing, I had two guests lately before you in the last episodes, and I like planners. I'm asking them, what is your challenge in tech stack? Like trying to, to understand and allow people to also think about solutions according to that. And the two of them talked about integrations between different platforms. And they
Hmm.
talked about the CRM goes to this, to there, and all that. And
Yeah.
you just mentioned that how in Zoom you can, from the calls, because it's recorded, and AI can capture the notes and all that and start to create the action items and really make it happen. So I can see how Zoom events become a solution also from that, from the meeting to action items to real, like an agent that will do the job right for the planner.
Yeah,
It's just mind blowing.
that's what I was getting at. Like that, you are exactly right. Right. If you're in a Zoom meeting with your team, right, planning an event, you can enable Zoom AI Companion, and that will, collect everything. From there, you'll have all the notes. You can create a chat channel, start collaborating with your team, but then you can use AI to assign tasks. You know, establish what the next steps are, schedule the follow up meeting. This can all be done with the click of a mouse. It's pretty incredible.
Incredible, incredible, and
Yeah,
it's just getting better. Super
yeah,
exciting. We can talk about that for an hour, but let's
yeah.
move forward for now. And connected to that, that Zoom is so powerful in terms of the product, really, and as a company. In the event space, there are not many companies that big and that rich with resources and money as Zoom. So for me, it means that it's simply a question of how much Zoom wants to win. I call it win, but be a major player in the event, in person and hybrid space. I know that in virtual you're
Mhm.
leading, no question about that. But in person events, we see the growth, but it's not, I don't want to say it's not a leader yet, but it's definitely not
Yeah.
the top three, if you will. Okay, and Zoom
Hmm.
can be there from features and all that. Of course,
Yeah.
you're there. It's literally a question how aggressive you want to be to get there. So that's basically the question. Do you see that happen in 3 to 5 years? What's your plan there in terms of go to market, basically?
Yeah. So long term, I mean, I would say upfront, like Zoom is a customer driven company. So we are really striving to meet our clients' needs. Um, our focus has been, as you can imagine, virtual and then more recently hybrid events because we've added those capabilities into the platform. And then, we've focused with best in breed solution providers like Xtag, to support those critical in person elements. Um, so I think having those partnerships is what helps us support the in-person use cases. I'm not sure that I ever see Zoom moving into a pure in-person play where customers can use us to do venue sourcing and book travel and things like that. But in terms of virtual and hybrid, that's really kind of our sweet spot as a technology company, and I think that's where you'll see most of our innovation coming.
Yeah, it's great. And you talked about venue sourcing. You talked about other elements in the in-person events. A lot of in-person events, they don't need that, like venue sourcing and
Right.
all that. It's advanced.
Yeah.
Booking of hotels and accommodation and all that, it's advanced. We know a lot of events that they don't need that, and we see a lot of platforms that they were good for virtual and then they transition to in person. It's good enough, it's maybe not complete, but no platform is really complete. They use partners, they use this and that. I believe that
Right.
Zoom, if you would like to and you feel demand from clients for venue sourcing or for hotel bookings, you'll just partner with other companies like you did with Xtag. You felt like you need
Yes.
ad printing, you found the right partner. And also
Yeah.
something nice about Zoom, the marketplace is amazing. Like you understand that you cannot
Yeah.
do everything well, although you're a huge company, and you're getting the right partners. So it's really curious to see how Zoom events will strive in the in-person event. Again, for me, because I live there in virtual, you are the best platform with no doubt, because Zoom as a platform is so powerful and so stable that honestly, I don't see a competition there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I think that's, let's use our strengths, which is like, building out solutions, but also our core competency, which is around virtual. So I think partnering with, other best in breed providers for that, those things like, venue sourcing and hotel booking and, those, that's fine. We could just have an integration and do it that way.
hmm Sounds good. Amazing. Thank you, Brian, for all the insights. I had potentially another question about AI, but actually you answered it already, that a lot is coming with AI and we can be kind of sit tight and wait for releasing from Zoom. So we can't wait. And it
Yeah.
means we're moving to,
I mean, real quickly, I would say,
yeah,
because I'm not allowed to really talk about our roadmap too much, but
that's
we
why I'm not
have
pushing
done,
you.
yeah, we have, I mean, just even some recent releases. Like I think you're going to see a lot more with AI around video, like video on demand, videos that you upload. And then even recently, for anyone who watched our recent earnings call with our CEO Eric Ewan, he leveraged our AI generated Zoom clips, which is a neat feature where you can create your own digital twin using Zoom clips and record yourself, and it will capture your video and your voice. You can then upload a script and create videos from that. It's
Wow.
amazing. So yeah,
I'm
that's just one of the neat things, kind of outside of events, but it could be used with events, right? Because now you could create a
shocked.
semi-live broadcast with that video.
You can
So
have a
there's,
keynote speaker that it's basically just a script that, you
yeah,
know, it's a good backup plan. If the keynote speaker is not coming, he's just okay. That's my script. That's my clip, and then just create it as as
yeah, and a lot of our clients will have requirements around compliance, right? So they might have an executive who's in a professional studio setting, so a lot of times they'll take that recording, they have to run it by compliance first and get their blessing before then you can use that, right? So
yeah.
if the compliance sends the approved script into Zoom, you can generate that digital twin of the speaker that is already kind of past that compliance. So there's a lot of possibilities around
That's
this.
crazy. And the next step is
Yeah,
that your twin will be able also to communicate in the conversation and more than just a script. Wow. The world is
maybe
getting
join your meetings in your place. Who knows?
yeah, it will be it will happen at some point. And when we
Yeah,
say at some point, something that we thought it will be 10 years from now, with AI and the pace of development, it becomes 1 2 years. Like, it's so quick. You see companies releasing feature that you're like, how much time it took you? And they're like, no, couple of months. Okay,
yeah.
whatever. So
I mean, even with AI, like I think Zoom, I think it was 2 years ago this past April, so about 2.5 years ago, when we added, AI companion to meetings, and it has become, you know, uh, like I would say, pinpoint accurate. It's remarkable. Like I don't have, I'm an old guy, so I have my notebook here. Well, like I don't need that, right? If AI is enabled, like I've got all my notes, I can share it with all of the attendees, right? And create those follow-ups and tasks and all the things I talked about before. It's incredible.
that's why I'm saying it's more us embracing the technology and understand how to use it. It's already there. And of course, it will become better. But even what's in now, we're not leveraging that enough. At least not my generation, your generation,
Yeah.
maybe my son, yes. But me, I always try to learn and understand what the platform has to offer, to try, hey, how can it help me? And it's mind blowing that you find things in
Yes.
just 2 days ago, actually, funny story. I tried to look at, call sales calls of my representatives to take a look, and I saw that in Zoom it gives you a lot of information right on the dashboard about how much time they talked, how is the pace that they are talking, and some coaching stuff that I'm like, oh wow,
Yep.
it's there. Wow, I didn't even know. So
Yes.
crazy, crazy. The world is getting crazy, and so if you can be so much more efficient these days, you just need to embrace the technology.
Yeah, I believe our CEO at one point talked about, hey, at some point, maybe we have a 3-day work week, right? And because of this efficiencies that come with AI. So,
Yeah, that's a
um,
good way to look at it. The problem is that if we work only 3 days a week, maybe they don't need us at all, right? As
yeah,
employees. So another way to make sure that yeah, we're all still valuable, add value to the organizations we work with, but that's for another conversation.
yes, great, great.
All right, moving forward to the rapid fire chat. It's 1 minute that I'm asking you quick questions, and you need to answer with couple of words. Are you
Okay,
ready? All right.
I hope so. I hope so. Go ahead.
All right. In person, virtual, or hybrid events, which one will win in 2026?
I would say hybrid,
AI in events, overhyped or underutilized?
underutilized.
I agree. All right. We just talked about that.
Yes.
Biggest competitor to Zoom events that you respect the most?
Well, I wouldn't list one single competitor because it really comes down to the event type. Okay. We
Mhm.
have a set of competitors that we will go up against in the highly complex multi session like virtual conferences, and then a completely different set of competitors that for single session events.
All
So it
right.
really would depend.
Last question. Virtual. Sorry. Favorite city for you to go to an event as an attendee?
Um, San Francisco.
All right. That's surprising. I didn't think you'll say
Yeah.
San Francisco.
I've
Okay,
had a
maybe
great
because you live
experience.
you live on the other side.
Yeah, I'm on the other coast, right? I've been to obviously Florida numerous times, New Orleans, but I would say San Francisco or even San Jose, where we hosted our
Yeah.
big annual conference. It's amazing. So, and just because I love the cities,
Yeah, San Jose is actually a great location. We did the Zoomtopia back then.
Yes,
Really nice place.
that's right.
Cool. Brian, thank you so much. Sorry I stopped you when you wanted to talk more about AI, but that's the concept.
Boy, that was easy. Those questions were easy. So, thank you so much. No, it was a real pleasure joining you today. I appreciate you inviting me.
Of course, of course. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, everyone watching, listening. I hope you get a lot of, you know, insights from Brian and understanding more what Zoom Events is capable for, and it is. And we can't wait to see more features coming. And I'm sure that, Zoom is going to lead AI in general and especially in the event space. Just can't wait. So I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.